It is Thanksgiving time again. And that means it is a time to be thankful. And when I say thankful, it is not about giving thanks. Giving thanks is easy and also can be quite insincere. But why do we have a holiday that is predicated on thankfulness? Is because I think we've forgotten how to be thankful in this country. We have so much. And even when it comes to the time for the holiday, we just bypass the whole thanking stuff. Because it's like, are we going to go to the parade? Are we going to get food? Are we going to watch the big game? Because there are now 3 big games. Though if you have to have one with Prime, you're kind of out of luck. But what has happened? We live in a country that has so much. And I will tell you something. Maybe we get a little blasé. We don't have enough things that could possibly... We don't have to deal with the unknown and the danger on a daily basis. And when I say danger, I don't mean like a plane, going into our house or a car running over the street. I'm talking about like we used to have to worry about dealing with the basic problems of nature. Disease and this, we've got great healthcare. I'm telling you, we have more food than we could possibly, but we don't distribute it well. And we have more ways to amuse ourselves. If you went 300 years ago, or wherever, whenever Henry VIII was king, and you said, Henry, you could live in a trailer park in 2020, or you can stay king of England. And he'd look at the trailer park and with all the gadgets goes, this is heaven. You can have my king. Now, there is something to be said if you are someone like Augustus Caesar, because that was one of the times where you could just be cruel as all get out and you wouldn't have... But let's just say you're not a sadist. You just want to enjoy life. This is it. As Danish Girlfriend says, we live like kings, and we do, and we should be thankful for it, not just giving thanks. Now, here's the problem. There is always someone who's got a little more than you, has a higher status than you, and you're constantly being shown on a daily basis. Of course, it's hard to be thankful. It's like, well, I mean, you don't have as much, you're not as rich as one of these people in Silicon Valleys who have jets and yachts and probably are going to go buy an island and live there, and they're going to pay doctors. They're going to build their own hospital over there. And it's just like, well, my life isn't as good as that. Don't think about things like that. Think about why things are good right now. Danish Girlfriend and her father has taught me this lesson. I'm not sure whether it's being particularly Danish, so I think there's something about it. There's a certain contentment there. And he tells Danish Girlfriend, we live like kings. And he doesn't have an extravagant lifestyle. He wakes up in the morning and he feeds the birds. And he's very happy to feed the birds. In fact, he's thankful. Now, in fact, it's the birds who should be a little more thankful for Danish Girlfriend's father, because if he sleeps a little too long, they'll come and peck at his window. And he'll get up and then he'll kind of smile and goes, well, those are the birds. He gets a chance to feed the birds, and that gives him a sense of being thankful. He can go to his garden and he can grow potatoes, kartoffels, and he's thankful for that. Yes, you can go buy them in a store, but there's something about making the food yourself. And he gets to chit-chat. And sometimes he does his shopping. He doesn't care what he buys. Half the time, he doesn't even get to buy all the stuff he needs because he's having too much fun chit-chatting. And that truly is the connection with your neighbors, with humanity. The food, the money, the cars, those are vehicles, quite literally, vehicles and ways of getting in touch with your fellow human, the humanity that is around you. And that is truly what it is to be thankful for. I'm on a phone right now. I'm making a video of this. This is a very meager way to try to connect with people, but I do it. I do it because, first of all, it's very safe. Secondly, I'm hoping someone watches it. But if I could, I'd walk around New York City and thank people. If you went around New York City to thank people, they'd look at you like you're crazy. Because, what do you want? I'm not going to give you any money. I'm not going to buy whatever you're saying. And they always assume you're selling something. And that's not. So in some ways, While we may live like kings, we don't behave in a noble fashion. And that is something we can change. And that's why a day like Thanksgiving is so important, to remind ourselves, to look out and see, wow, there are things I am thankful for, and I should work on them the other 364 days of the year. Thank you kindly.